once again on the Red Pill Diaries. We've just left the other platform, and we have Mr. Helmer on with us today. Mr. Helmer, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you, Rashid. Thank you for having me again.
No, thank you for coming on the platform. It means a lot to me. Let's talk about the U.S. Iranian Indian Dina affair. And you have the floor. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to listen to you explain what's going on.
Thank you, Rashid. Well, for our audience, let's put the small details, the exactly what happened in the bigger context first, and then we'll go back to the details. The Dena was one of three Iranian warships, a squadron of three. The Dena is a frigate, and it was accompanied by the Lavan and the Bushir, which are replenishment vessels, and they included and other auxiliary support functions. They carried crews and a military band and other individuals to an international naval review in India, in Visakhapatnam, also known as Visag.
We lost Mr. Helmer. He'll get back in, hopefully. We've lost Mr. Helmer for a second. Everybody, yeah, froze. Yeah, he'll come back in. Hopefully, we'll wait for him to join us again. Lost you. All right, here we are. Yeah. So let's let him try to go out and come back in. Um, they're messing with the show now. All right, he's coming back. He's out of the booth and he should be popping back up on the screen in just a second. Give me a second. Give him a second to get the link and come back in. Mm. Told you guys we had a double header. And we almost missed the double header because we were talking on the other platform. So hopefully Mr. Helmer can join us again in just in a few seconds. Everybody hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything to hit the like button, especially if we're doing this work like this double header. And Mr. Helmer said he's going to give us some information on what's really going on with the U.S., the Indian, and the Iranian affair about what happened to the ship that was sunk by the U.S. So we'll wait for him to join us back on the platform. He's probably going to check his link. Let me check my messages to see if he's trying to contact me. Hold on one second, everybody. All right. Yeah. Um, yeah. Okay, we are still here for you. Retry the link. All right. We'll send that back out to him. So as you see, he was on the platform. He just got disconnected. All right. And by the way, Mr. Helmer here he is right here. So we're giving him the stage right now. He's back in, and hopefully he can give us the information that we need. You're back on with us again.
Yeah, there was an internet failure here. Okay, let's start from scratch again. We're going to try and put this naval attack in which the U.S. sank an Iranian frigate, killing more than 181 Iranians on board. And we put that in the context of the bigger context. So let's try context first. First of all, this entire episode is almost unreported and unanalyzed in the Western press. It's covered in India with a blanket blackout of all criticism, of all significant criticism of Prime Minister Modi and Foreign Minister Jaishankar, who, as we'll tell the story, failed to provide the sanctuary, the safe harbor, which the Iranians had requested for all three ships, the Dena, a frigate, the Lavan, and the Bushir, support vessels, which had been attending an international naval review in eastern India, Visakhapatnam, Visag for short, a major Indian naval port in the east on the Bay of Bengal. So first of all, the bigger context, this is covered by blackout in the West and by blackout in India. There is some criticism of Sri Lanka internally because the president of Sri Lanka hasn't been exactly accurate in describing what happened. So let's understand, India violated its neutrality in this case. By doing so, this compounded Prime Minister Modi's alliance with Israel and the United States in the war against Iran. Modi and Jaishankar, to be blunt, have supported the US-Israeli war against Iran for the destruction of Iran. They signaled that in Modi's visit to Israel in February 25, several days before, but not very long before the attack began. India, in violating its neutrality, has ended BRICS as a collective organization. Worse, the Indians, who are chair of BRICS this year and will be hosting the summit meeting of BRICS later this year, have done everything they can behind the scenes and in secret to prevent BRICS as a collective organization, which includes Russia, China, and Iran, to prevent BRICS from condemning the war against Iran. So India has taken itself out of neutrality, a very long tradition of non-alignment, and in line with a war against Iran, which has backfired on the Indians. We'll come to that in a minute. But let's understand how this episode, which cost more than 180 Iranian lives, what it illustrates about the way the US operates, the way India operates, the way Iran operates, the way Sri Lanka operates during the war. What happened here to the Dena, a frigate, was that it was with the Lavan and the Bushir at this international review between the 15th and the 25th of February. It participated in shore ceremonies, which included march past, marching bands. It participated in live firing exercises at sea. It participated in conferences. As the review came towards an end, we now know from the Iranian ambassador to Sri Lanka that the Iranian side, represented at the time in India by a rear admiral, requested a port visit to Sri Lanka on the way home. Okay, and that request was made for all three vessels. In the Sri Lankan case, perhaps the premium that India must now pay. India must get its oil somehow, but must now pay Russia and the market a bigger premium, whereas before it was buying it cheap on discount. India has lost its business base in Dubai. It's repatriated up to 100,000 or so Indian workers and tourists and residents, women and children from the Emirates under attack, particularly Dubai. But it's begun to lose its base as its offshore capital base, its offshore trading base in Dubai. What's it here? Well,
Let me know what's on your mind on this one. The last question of the day, and then we'll have you back on the show
here.
again.
You want to know what's in here? Well, you're wearing you covering up your mind. I'm not wearing a hat.
So, Mr. Helmer, after this war is over, will the American empire be removed from West Asia, in your opinion? Like from like it is right now?
Short answer, no. This isn't the end of the petrodollar. It isn't the end of the U.S. empire. Empires have got long periods of assured protection against resumption of war. It's a possibility. I wouldn't bet on it. I'm not, as I said, not an expert on religious theocracies like Israel, and I don't bet on faith.
Thank you so much, Mr. Helmer, for joining us. I'll send you the video in just a second. And I can't thank you enough for coming on the platform again.
Thank you again for having me, Rashid.
All right.
See you
And
next time.
yes, next time, real soon. Everybody, listen. Hit the like button. It doesn't cost you a thing. Spread the word. Share. And everything. Check your notifications because sometimes you don't get your notifications and sometimes they unsubscribe you. So if you've been unsubscribed, subscribe back. They're trying to stop the truth from being spread and they're trying to suppress the channel, but we'll overcome this. And I like to say this in going out: do right by others, not because there's some material gain to be had or because some accolades behind it. Do right because it's the right, the humane, and the godly thing to do. Because even when no one else is watching you, remember, God Almighty is watching you. As my late, great, and beautiful mother would always say, God sits high on the throne of power, but he looks low at the actions of man. Know that I love each and every one of you who loves truth, but know that the love that I have for you will always pale in comparison to the love that God has for you. Until we next speak again, stay strong, stay true, but above all things, remember to stay righteous. Hey, mama, your baby boy still loves you more than life. Thank you, everybody.